Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're doing a glueless quick weave. My model has already been shampooed and blow dried, so we're going to start off by parting her hair. For this look, we're doing a side part. There's no right or wrong way to position your side part, but I do like to curve it in a C shape. But as far as how high, how low the client wants it, it's all about what they prefer. Off camera, I turned my model to the mirror and she approved of this part, so we're going to proceed. When parting out the edges, I like to use the front of the client's ear as a guide. So I parted a straight line down from her part. Now we're going to section out her leave out, and when doing this, you can use the tail end of your comb to make sure you have enough. This is how I decide if it's too much or too little leave out left out. Because what we can see is very faint, I decided that this is enough leave out. From here, I'm going to tilt my model over so you can see how I part the other side. So I'm going to follow how the curve of her part is. So this is going to be a C motion. I like to start this parting from the center of my client's face. If you can't find the center, I use the nose as a guide. I curve it all the way back to meet to where the leave out on the other side ends as well. Again, we're going to do a leave out check, and that is good. When doing any type of weave service, if there's leave out, I like to braid it out the way. You for sure want to do this when you're doing a quick weave because caps are involved. So whether you're molding it or doing the glueless method, you want to make sure there isn't no hair getting in the way of that process. So this is how everything should look once you are done sectioning off the leave out. With any weave service that I offer, I always moisturize, oil my client's hair. So I'm going in with some essential oils. This is a blend of castor oil, avocado oil, and other things that will moisturize your client's hair while it's in a weave. Now we're going to part hair for the anchor braid. I begin parting behind the leave out section around the side of my client's head and down to the nape. You want to make sure this parting isn't too big because as you braid, the hair will build, so it will grow as you continue down the client's head. Anchor braids are important when it comes to glueless quick weaves because you're going to be sewing around the perimeter of the cap. If you just do jumbo braids on your client's head, you will risk extra tension because you'll be sewing on the strands of the client's head rather than having something more secure as the anchor braids. So I did anchor braids along both sides, and then once I connected those around the nape, I did about 4 to 5 jumbo braids. Quick weaves are meant to be quick, so you don't have to do a very tedious braid down foundation for this. You just want to make sure that you do the braids small enough so that they're flat. So depending on how thick your client's head is will determine how many braids you will need to do, but this is how it looks once I'm finished. Now I'm just going to see how it looks if I fold the braids up, and then from there I'm going to take the Sanex strips to cover the hair. During this process, don't be afraid to ask your model or your client to help you out. You are the hairstylist, but sometimes you need extra hands just to position everything in place. For the first Sanex strip, I tied it around the front, and the next one I'm going across, and I'm going to have her hold down the sides. I do this until everything is covered, but I try to avoid the leave out because you want to be able to see it when you do put the cap over so you don't sew that down by accident. Because we're doing a side part, it's at a weird angle, so for this last strip, I'm going to kind of just position it in place, but there's no way for me to really tack it down. I don't worry about that too much because once I put the cap over top, it's going to hold everything in place, so you'll see that in just a second. So I hand one side of the Sanex strip to my client and have her hold that down, and I kind of just curve it to cover that last top section, and then I kind of twist it so that she can hold it, but it's no way that it's going to really stay in place until I put the cap on it. For the caps, I'm using 2 plain black stocking caps. You can get this at your local beauty supply store or Amazon. I use 2 because I've found through experience that 1 just isn't enough. As you can see, once I put it on, it holds everything in place, so she's free to let go of the strips. And here, I'm just going underneath to make sure that everything is covered because they did move a little bit as I was putting it on. Second one is coming on, and now everything is really secure. Once everything gets in place, I try to pull my client's ears out so it's not trapped underneath, and then we feel for those anchor braids and begin to sew. Because I'm always sewing, it's become a habit to do the single or double lock stitch method, but for this I'm just doing a single lock stitch because it'll help me move faster, and because I'm not sewing down wefts, it's not really required to do the double lock stitch method. I will say, going into this quick weave, I didn't know if I was going to do a glueless one or do the mold, but I asked my model what did she prefer prefer, and she wanted me to sew it down because she does work out consistently, and she says that she sweats, and when she doesn't sew down the cap, her quick weave lifts easily. So that is the reason why people choose this option. You might not have the time to sit for hours for a sew-in, or might not have the commitment of a sew-in. Sew-ins last anywhere between 2 to 3 months, but quick weaves I don't recommend staying in longer than 1 month because you just don't have access to your scalp. But if you're an active person looking for something that is quick but still won't fall off the bone, then this is for you. So this is how everything looks once I'm finished. I'm going to cut the extra Sanex strips off and the cap that is left. You want to make sure that you avoid cutting too close to the thread, otherwise you will mess up this foundation. Another thing I want to mention is how easy it is to take this off. You have to explain to your model or client that all they have to do is look for the thread. It's best to have someone help them and cut the thread, and once you cut the thread, the entire thing will come off, so you don't have to worry about glue getting stuck to your head. Takedown is easy, less messy, and requires less work. So now we get into the fun part. I'm doing a style with faux highlight. So faux just means that the hair isn't highlighted, but you're using blonde pieces to install in between the black, and so once everything comes together, it will look like your client has highlights. I like to use the Salon Pro 30-second super hold glue. When doing a quick weave, you measure where you are applying the weft, cut that, and then apply the glue along the weft, and then put it back into the place that you just measured. In my experience with doing this, I found that you have to press and hold the track in place for about 15 to 20 seconds. When doing a quick weave with the mold, I don't know, there's something magical about the mold when the glue touches it that it holds right away. But with the stocking cap situation, because it's just the fabric with no mold on top, you have to apply a little bit more pressure so that everything can be bonded together. So after about 2 to 3 rows of black, I'm going to go in with my first blonde piece. She doesn't want too much blonde, so I'm going to focus the blonde more so towards the back. Same thing as before, you're going to measure where the weft is going, cut it, apply the glue, and then reapply it in that area. For the first few rows below the ear and right above the ear, I like to do my weft straight across, but because we're doing a side part, I'm going to start to curve these in a second. So for the next row, I'm going to start halfway up the side of my model's head, and I'm going to do that on both sides. We're going to start with the black track first, and then we'll go with the blonde, just because when she combs the hair back, I don't want it to be all blonde. It's supposed to give the illusion of highlights. So again, notice on this side, I'm curving the hair up as well, and this just allows the hair to fall toward the client's face. After that, I'm going to place my next track at the center of my client's face so that when we cut and layer the hair, she'll have nice bangs that will give that, you know, a Leah look. From here, the track should start to make a U shape, but because it's a side part, the left side will be closing in sooner. So instead of going all the way to the edge, I start to lay the tracks in an L shape. The great thing about quick weaves is because you're cutting the hair and just gluing them in place, it honestly doesn't matter. Once you lay the foundation of how you like the hair to fall into your client's face, you can pretty much just glue the tracks wherever until the hair is closed in at the top. So notice how I'll start on maybe the right side first and bring the hair over, and then I'll switch over from putting it on the left side and bringing it the opposite way. So I kind of just hopscotch back and forth until everything is closed in. And this is just me showing you the different ways that you can go. I can keep going in an L shape, or I can just keep going across. It really just depends. From here, I continue to close out her quick weave, but I will admit, guys, that my phone did die in the process, so I didn't get me closing out it all the way. So this is how everything looks once I am finished. I'm taking down her leave out, and I'm going to apply some mousse to kind of mold it in place. I like using mousse on my clients because it helps blend the hair into the weave. It also helps tame flyaway so that it'll have a smooth finish at the end. I had went in and cut some layers into her hair off camera. If you guys are interested in learning my techniques for those, you will have to book a one-on-one class or purchase an in-depth training tutorial, just because we get into the technicalities and mechanics of cosmetology and the reason why you hold the hair at certain angles for cutting techniques. We went in and curled her hair with the T3 body waver. We were going for big voluminous curls, so I feel like That or either the 1.5 inch curling iron is great for achieving those depending on what length your model has in their hair. I clipped the hair and set it with some hairspray so that the curls can set, and now we're removing it and getting into my favorite part. To comb out the curls, I like to use a wide tooth comb. This will help separate the curls. Now sometimes you might see somebody use a regular fine tooth comb to mold the curls into place, but it really just depends on what type of look you're going for. Now I'm going in with my razor comb to kind of just feather some of these curls in the front, and this is where you get into actually styling the hair. You can layer the hair, but sometimes you can't see exactly how the hair falls until you curl it, so that's what the razor comb is for. But this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and let me know what style you guys want to see. Like, comment, and subscribe.